of course you're going to cut it out, right? So.
Oh, 100%. I will cut this out. So you don't got to worry about that. My editing skills have gotten better. All right, you ready?
Right, of course.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to another edition of Hamza's Corner. This is a special edition of Hamza's Corner. After illnesses have struck Jeff and Tim for them not to be able to make it, difficulty getting Tom or Joe on the phone, no words from Sam, Newman, or Eddie, because I don't know if they know how to work a computer. We're here with our number one favorite guest, and not because I didn't want to talk to him, but mostly because I wanted to save his commentary for the finals. But inevitably, we're here in the semis talking to Mr. People know him as the notorious Legal Beagle. His friends call him B-Cass. We're here today with Brian Casson. Brian, how are you doing?
Happy to be here at Hamza's Corner. This is my first time on since 2022. So you missed me all of last year.
Yeah. You
have to have a good enough team to make it on, I guess.
Sometimes your team has to make quite the influence to be invited here. And last year, let's be honest, your team didn't make that big of a ripple in the water.
No, I think I was terrible last year.
Yeah. This year you started off very similar ripple as last year, but you've come in at the end here and you're making quite the couple waves. Some might call it tsunamis, putting up 3 or 4 weeks of very uncontested high score weeks. How do you feel about that?
Well, in one of those weeks, it was uncontested because Sam just didn't start anybody. So he left his lineup vacant with injured and bye week players. So that was helpful, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I think I outscored the next closest person in the league by like 50 points or something. So, I'm on a tear right now. I think that's what he said. So he's just marveling at my my robust performances.
Well, I was going to say the interesting thing is, of all the people you could be going up against, you're going against Steve, who Steve himself has been known to throw quite a couple ripples in the water himself. And you two on the other side of the bracket are making quite the couple waves. Now, all it takes is for one person to get injured, one person to underperform, as you are very well aware.
Oh yeah,
change everything. How do you feel about your team's performance last week?
So I came back. I think I was trailing for a while on Sunday, but then ended up just having some monster performances. Puka Nakua went off, and that really helped it. And it was also helpful. Well, it should have been helpful that Steve had 2 of his best players and 2 of the best players in the league on bye. But it looks like he picked up Garendo. And he might be hurt, but he did a great job filling in for Henry. And then I can't remember who he started at quarterback, but it was Jared Goff. I think he put up like 22 points or something.
He did.
Steve was me on the side saying, "I just need him to get to like 18 points," and I was like, "He's going to smash 18." So he ended up having a pretty good week still. But yeah, I mean, over 308 or something combined points in the first round. It's got to be scaring you and Jeff on the other side. I mean, you guys are going to come.
9. I mean, listen, I'm scared, but at the same time, the only 2 teams that have beaten me this year are you and Jeff, and I got to get past one of them to get to the other one. So Jeff beat me on a very, very significant low for me, and I think you did too. I think I only put up like 90 points that week that you beat me. Like it's very uncontested, but nonetheless, I mean, you guys are the 2 people that have beaten me. If I can get past this week, who knows? I don't know. It's the end of the year, the last couple of weeks of the year. Anything could happen. I mean, we all saw what happened. We all saw what happened with the Demir Hamlin game, right? Like that can change everything in the league.
Yeah, right. That would be awful.
So
hopefully somebody doesn't die on the field this week.
You got a guy who's potentially going to score 30 points. You have 3 people playing that night, and all of a sudden the game's over at halftime, right?
That's pretty rough. Yeah.
Like that. I mean, I think it was I don't remember if it was Tim or Steve, but they got affected pretty hard on that year. So,
didn't they name themselves co-champions or something like that?
Yeah, some bullshit. They should have settled it over rock, paper, scissors or bloody knuckles like the old days, right?
Right, or just go like overall points or something.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, I just put it up and you had a pretty down week against me. You only scored 91. I put up like 140 though. So,
I mean, if there was ever a team to take the day off, if there was ever a week to take the day off, that was the week.
Yeah, that's the one. It's like you're slim chances to win anyway when somebody puts up almost 140 points. Unless you're Steve, right? He puts up what did he score last week? 150,
152.7. Between the two of you guys scored 309 points. So
yeah, that's a lot of points in 1 week.
Points. And like you had a steady performance from everybody on your team. He had a low week from Marvin Harrison. I mean, Marvin Harrison shows up and it's like next thing you know, Marvin Harrison puts up double digits. Next thing you know, you're down by a point or two.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy too, because that Miami game, can't remember who they were playing against, but they came back and tied it up.
Yeah.
And that Jonnu Smith had no points, no catches, like one target. The dude was not even in when they were running 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. He wasn't in the game for like the whole
0 catches for 0 yards going into overtime. Gets 3 catches, if I'm not mistaken, for like 30 yards and a touchdown. 3 catches, 44 yards and a touchdown in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, like he must have like fucked Mike McDaniel's wife or something. Because I mean, how do you depart from the monster usage he was getting, and then you give him nothing in the whole game until overtime, and then I think he had 3 of 4 targets in the overtime period. They threw the ball 3 times or 4 times, and 1 to him for a touchdown. So that really saved my week and the playoff probably, because I think Steve is projected to win this week, but I think I'm still projected overall. I might be making a ballsy choice at quarterback. I'm not sure. I just picked up Brock Purdy like 25 minutes ago. I might start him over Kyler Murray.
I'm not gonna lie, I was eyeing him because for some reason they're saying my boy Burrows is on the questionable list. They're saying that he's not. They're not worried for him to start, but
he's gonna play.
You never know.
Yeah. The NFL injury reporting this year has been weird.
Yeah.
I mean, they're required anytime somebody is limited at all in practice, you got to Q tag them, and then I don't know. We've had a lot of people who are like not reported as going to be limited, and so they should have been marked questionable.
Sunday morning, next thing you know, they're out.
Yeah. Terrible.
Although that's no excuse for your brother. You know what? Listen, Sam having 3 players that he's not starting, that's a very Eddie move there. Like, come on, man.
He said he was training for a marathon, which, I mean, how stupid can you be? Go run. I'm going to run as far as I can. Why?
Oh, my God.
As I say here, just fat and hungover. But, that was an interesting one. Poor buddy. I actually texted him like, "Are you okay?" Because it's like something happened to you in the playoffs and you don't set your roster. That's insane.
Oh my God! Actually, his team isn't that bad. His team isn't doing that bad. I mean, he's not. I feel like he still hasn't checked or like looked to set his roster, because if he made any kind of roster changes, he might have been, in the running for doing a little bit better last week.
I don't. He's out though.
Yeah, doesn't care.
Are you saying like if he would have won that week, like he would have been against Steve right now and he'd be down like 60 points?
Yeah, 100%. I don't know if he would have been down 60 points, because if he would have set his roster correctly, he'd probably be at like 120 points.
Yeah, that's still like 30 points.
Still down 30 points. Against Steve, love the guy, but you never know. I mean, Steve has had off weeks too, so all it takes is for Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry to not have a good week, go up against a decent defense.
Yeah. I mean, they're playing the Giants this week. I mean, you can't ask for a better matchup. So I mean, I'm kind of worried. I think Steve, he should outscore me this week, but hopes are high. I've been on a run right now. 160 points in week 11. Pretty good.
Yeah. No, you've definitely shown that you've definitely earned a spot. You've definitely shown that you earned the spot here. You deserve a spot in the playoffs. Yeah. As far as like one of the last teams to like solidify a playoff spot, you've shown that like, no, I deserve to be here.
Yeah. Didn't I finish the 4 seed though?
I think you did, but up until the second to the last week, you didn't have a playoff spot.
Right. Yeah. I think I was like number 7 or something for a while. But I got screwed a lot this year, man. I put up a bunch of points and and I just lost when other teams went nuts. Like I think Jeff scored like 140 on me one week. Sam beat the shit out of me when I played him in week 7. that was fun.
You got your payback on Sam. I feel like he just bent over and took it from you during that week. So during those 2 weeks of the playoffs, he had nothing that he could do. When you don't start half your lineup for 1 week, there's nothing you can do week 2. But the commissioner's not taking this lying down. He's coming in with a fight. Your matchup has definitely been a very interesting one to watch. Jeff and I's matchup, I think I might have to take on the old Brian Casson, strategy of complaining in the chats.
It works.
Hoping that my team picks it up. Maybe the gods will let them hear it through our group chat and be like, all right, I gotta pick it up.
Yeah, and I mean it works like almost every time. 60% of the time, it works every time.
Well,
but immediately I started bitching about it. Jonnu Smith started catching balls, so
I had a couple members on buys last week too, between Jonathan Taylor, Brian Robinson, Terry McLaurin. They were all on buys last week for me too. So last week was a tougher week, figuring out who to start. AJ Brown has been doing all right, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because McLaurin's been crushing it, and I probably would have, if they were playing, I probably would have started him over AJ or at least over Cup, and that would have been a dumb move. Smith and Jigba came in clutch when I needed him to start him in the flex. But Jeff also had a bad week from Chubb and Cook, so his miraculous week came from Devontae Adam, who showed up out of nowhere in the end, and Tua Tagovailoa getting a bunch of points. Let's be honest, we all knew Jamar Chase was going to score a bunch of points because he's, Joe Burrow's #1 target. So,
a lot of people were saying that he should have done a slide and not scored on that touchdown late in the 4th. And so if you would have played smart football, then, you wouldn't be down by as much.
Exactly. Well, it is what it is. We're here.
You got a comeback. You got to orchestrate here.
Well, the chances of Jamar Chase putting up, 3 out of the last 4 weeks, or 3 out of the, for it to be 3 out of the last 4 weeks putting up 35 plus points is slim. It's not non-existent. It's just slim. So hopefully that doesn't happen for because he had another week where he scored 50 points not too long ago. So was that week 10 against Baltimore? So he's going up against Tennessee.
He had 17 targets in that game.
Yeah,
insane.
Yeah. 18 targets in this last game.
What's that?
He had 18 targets in the game against Dallas.
Yeah, I know. So you're going to need Tennessee defense to step it up and maybe leave T. Higgins wide open or something.
That's fine. I'm doing that.
Getting the ball.
Get up to the 1 and let Joe Burrow, do a little QB sneak.
No, my boy Chase Brown needs those touchdowns, so I'll be rooting against that.
Well,
it's been like a really big helper for me this year. Is Chase Brown has come out of like nowhere, and it's just he overtook that spot from Zach Moss, I believe, and then just been killing it. So
H-An's been hit or miss for you.
Yeah, H-An is he's doing great for me. I think he's like the 8th RB overall right now.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Josh Jacobs also showed up for you last week when you needed to.
He's been killing it.
He's
scored 3 touchdowns last week. He still got outscored by a few other guys because he didn't do much in the receiving game, if anything.
No, he was literally just their touchdown workhorse.
Yeah,
he was a touchdown horse. So
yeah, Steve sent me a taunt after I don't remember who he had, but somebody had scored, and then I was able to rattle off 3 in a row.
This new taunt feature, I love it and I hate it at the same time. I love it because of the just like bam feature. I also hate it because it could be Jeff will save his taunts, and next thing you know, I'm like, I can't watch the Monday night game or something happens. I walk away, I go to the bathroom, whatever it is, and then I check my phone and it's like taunt. I'm like, wait, what's going on in the game?
You have to like time it strategically. You don't want to like start sending them before you get all of your opponents because they can just throw it right in your face.
The one thing that I think would be cool if they added a defense taunt feature. If the defense scores a touchdown, you just see the entire defense lining up doing like some
like a
kind of shuffle or whatever.
And they all do some kind of celebration in the end zone, right?
Yeah. So it would be pretty cool. But well, I appreciate it. Any last words? Any last final comments you want to say before I let you go?
Yeah. I was just looking at it, and I think I called it already in the chat, but the championship is this week between me and Steve. Whoever wins is going to steamroll you or Jeff. I'm putting that out there right now.
Okay. All right. Bold words. Bold words. I'm not going to go out and go what Newman said and go $100, but I'll put $20 on it. Says this side of the bracket wins.
You got to bet.
All right. You guys heard it here first, right?
We don't want to talk about Newman. We don't want to talk about Newman's bet.
God.
We already hashed that one out. I still left the Venmo reminder up though, so we'll see.
Love it. Well,
you didn't talk about the Ian. That's the Ian final is this week.
There you go. Ian final this week. Who do you think is going to win?
I mean, Newman's up by 30 points.
Yeah. Oh, against Eddie? Again, I'm telling you, I said Sam, Newman, and Eddie. 3 people that don't know how to use technology.
Right. Eddie is just he had one of the worst years ever, I think.
Yeah.
What did he end up scoring? Like, he didn't even get 1,000 points this year.
I mean, he had people like Brandon Ayuk that he kept in his IR spot. He didn't move to his IR spot. He kept him in an active spot. Nico Collins got hurt. I will say that kind of hurt him, but he could have made a bunch of different moves. He could have dropped Devin Singletary, who hasn't done shit for anybody. Why do you have Sam Darnold on your bench? Like, it makes no sense. You're benching Bijan Robinson. Again, doesn't make any sense. Yeah. His team, I don't think he pays attention to football. He's definitely 100% the taco of our league, and he's just collecting hardware. He goes from loser trophy to winner trophy to loser trophy to winner trophy. That's his. And right now
he's just trophy hunter.
He has the Ian, and I don't think he wants to deal with shipping it back. So he's like, screw it, I'll just throw another.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't even think he thought that much about it. I think he probably forgot how to do it, and getting busy doing whatever the hell he does down there in Arizona. He lives in Arizona, right?
He lives in Arizona. Yep. Yeah.
He's got a baby.
Oh, man. Well, all right. There you have it, folks. We got B Cass's predictions of Eddie winning the Ian, and then he's saying by a landslide that him or Steve will win the title. If push comes to shove. I know he'd want to win it, but if Steve wins, he thinks Steve would steamroll our side of the bracket. Anything could happen, though. This is the playoffs, and this is football. So
it could. We have those 2-week championships, right?
Exactly.
Which, by the way, we might have to get rid of. Week 14 buys. Come on.
All league rules are going to be reviewed after the season. As of right now, let's make sure we all end this by saying, fuck your side of the bracket, and God bless the Palestinian cave ninjas.
Look at the hood swigglers.
The Hornswogglers. The Hornswigglers. Hey, the Hornswogglers that name has been doing me well. So
it's worked. You're contending. Me and Jeff in the championship would be hilarious because
I would hate that so much.
Based on this year, we have no business being there. But
I would hate that so much. It's like watching a Jacksonville versus Jets game.
Good luck to you, Hamza.
All right, man. Yep. And that concludes our Hamza's Corner.